Hello YouTube vintage stereo collectors and restorers. I'm in the middle of a Kenwood KA2000 here, late 60s. These were kind of a cool amp, but the way they were made was interesting. It's half point to point and half circuit boards. So you get there's a lot of solder joints, a lot of connections in these, and three separate boards: the tone board, the power amp preamp board, and then the phono board. And this is what I want to talk about because this applies to a lot of the early vintage stuff. I've seen very similar boards in Marantz's, inside Sansui's, recently inside a Sony TA1010. Had a 2 transistor phono preamp with equalization circuit, and many cases it's the noisiest part of the amp. This amp still worked with all its original parts, which is amazing considering it's over 50 years old. But the phono preamp was basically, I am good at making sounds. I used to be in the telephone business, and I'd say, what are you getting on your phone line? And the person would say, something like this. I go, no, sure, it wasn't more like. Used to get kind of funny on that. But a lot of noise in this preamp board. And I'll just tell you how to freshen them up. Obviously, replace all the electrolytic capacitors. I'm halfway through this one. A big problem with these are the C458s. Now, the black ones are the older version. The orange ones are the replacements. And if you notice on the orange ones, they have the copper colored leads. These ones actually aren't that noisy. They're not that bad. You could even leave them in if they're not blown. But you can replace it with a very cheap 2N3904 or something like an 1815, a 2222, and that will improve it, and it'll work fine in the circuit. Obviously the electrolytics have to be changed, but here's the point I wanted to make. These little resistors, and you see these inside early Japanese transistor radios, tuners, stuff like that, and they are very bad for noise. I don't understand why they did this. Most of the board is populated with standard carbon resistors, some of them actually silver tolerance and gold tolerance, which is excellent for a phono stage, makes sense. Then there's these four in the collector power supply of the first transistor, and they go noisy very quickly. So get rid of those. Use actually I use the gold banded ones, which are very tight tolerance. Replace all that stuff, and this will actually be a great sounding phono preamp. Fix up any bad solder connections. Something that's actually very important. There's a 100 pico capacitor between the base and collector in the first transistor stage. That's so it doesn't oscillate. Very important that that gets put back in, or it has some odd problems. Things like your amp going to full power for no audible reason. Anyway, good luck replacing your stuff, and happy listening. Bye.